What's up, Nani TV, and we back with another reaction video.
As you can see by the title, we are doing new details in the death of Shanquella Robinson. So if you guys don't know, there was an incident that happened in Mexico.
Cabo, Mexico.
Where actually me and Kenya are about to go.
Yeah, January.
So, but no, yeah, she and 6 other people or 5 other people, what was it?
6.
They all went to Cabo and they done basically beat this girl to death.
Yeah. But it's like, has a story dropped? Well, it's a video of them fighting. Like one girl fighting.
We seen that one. If y'all haven't seen it, she posted that on TikTok.
And her so-called best friends was just recording. So,
anyway, so we here to get some more details on this story because it's messed up all around. They're not even charging anyone yet because they don't even know who to charge.
Right.
Mexican authorities pursuing their case against an American suspected of killing an acquaintance at a luxury resort. They're looking to extradite the suspect to face charges. ABC's Zareen Shaw joins us with more as that woman still hasn't been named. Zareen, good morning. Hey, good morning, Janae. A 25-year-old went down to Mexico with some friends to celebrate someone's birthday. And just one day into that vacation, she turned up dead. And now officials have another big problem on their hands. Their prime suspect is no longer in the country.
Wow.
Wait.
This morning, a potential...
Yeah, the girl fled the country.
Like in general?
Yes.
Oh my God.
She went to a place where they couldn't get her.
Well, that's suspicious.
Yeah.
Prime suspect is no longer in the country. This morning, a potential legal limbo as Mexican prosecutors seek to extradite an acquaintance of Shanquella Robinson, the North Carolina woman found dead while vacationing in Mexico. Authorities are not currently naming her, but say she is a direct aggressor against the 25-year-old after a video online, too violent to show, reveals Robinson assaulted in her hotel room. Mexican authorities issuing an arrest warrant for that acquaintance, now back in America, for the crime of femicide, the act of killing a woman based on her gender.
On the one hand, the U.S. government is going to take this seriously, and on the other hand, it's not obligated to turn her over.
On October 29th, local police reports state that a Baja Resort town guest told medical staff around 2 in the afternoon that Robinson had drunk a lot of alcohol. A doctor determining she was stable but dehydrated, adding Robinson's acquaintances refused to send her to the hospital. The police report states
she did drink a lot of alcohol.
Yeah, I think that was because...
But that's not how she died.
Yeah. But this happened October 29th. This just came to like 2 weeks ago.
Nah, this happened around...
But it finally came to the U.S., like the whole story.
The US. Yeah, because we was finding off through TikTok.
Adding Robinson's acquaintances refused to send her to the hospital. The police report stating the Charlotte native went into cardiac arrest, declared dead by 6 p.m. But an autopsy differing from that report, stating medical officials...
they made that up. That's what they was making up.
Alcohol poisoning.
So she didn't.
Dead by 6 p.m. But an autopsy differing from that report, stating medical officials arrived before 3 p.m., quickly declaring Robinson dead from severe spinal cord injury and a dislocated neck. Wow. Robinson's family wants answers.
I'm just waiting on that day when someone can be arrested. That's all I'm waiting on.
As for those contradictions, Dan Abrams tells us that can happen when you have different officials looking into the same case, but that can be problematic for prosecutors. Janae?
Still so many unanswered questions. Zareen, thank you.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin.
The fact that they came back, was chilling with the mama at her house, and saying it was just an accident, and then a real story came out, and they never came around the mama no more. That is crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. I ain't hear too much of that.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, boy.
Because they try to cover it up as much as possible, like they ain't do a thing.
Right. Watch who you got around you, for real.
Yeah, watch who you vacation with, all type of stuff. But I was seeing posts of them saying, I wonder if she's seeing any secret animosity towards her before the trip. Because nothing like that just gonna happen.
Yeah.
You got to see that before it.
X.
Bring you new details in this morning in the death of 25-year-old Shanquella Robinson. The North Carolina woman was found dead last month while vacationing in Mexico with friends. Mexican prosecutors say Robinson was killed in a, quote, direct attack, not an accident, end quote. They're now trying to get an unnamed American woman extradited there to face charges. Billy Luciano joins us now with the latest on this investigation. Billy, great to have you.
It's not the one girl. It should be all of them.
It should be the people who recorded it. But although they said that it was one friend, a guy friend, who came late, but then all of them kept on saying, no, he'd been there, blah, blah, blah. But he was saying he came late and he found her unconscious.
Right.
So I don't even know. Like, they all saying so many different stories. That's why I can't wait till it all come out.
Billy Luciano joins us now with the latest on this investigation. Billy, great to have you on set. Good morning.
It's good to see you both. Good morning. You know, this is such a terrible story, and it's a story that has gathered so much attention, especially after people started watching the videos that have emerged of Shanquella Robinson being attacked. She traveled to Mexico with 6 of her friends. Some of those friends initially on the phone, and once they got back to the U.S., told her family, her parents, that she died of alcohol poisoning. But then her death certificate listed her cause of death as a spinal cord and neck injury. Robinson's father told us many different things that are heartbreaking, but among those...
My thing is, these people didn't know that an autopsy report would tell them how she died.
They probably thought they was in Mexico. They just gonna believe one story. They're not gonna go through it all.
Sheesh.
But it's just the fact
Robinson's...
that it was 6 of them and all of them was on the same page.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's
now,
sick,
one helped her.
That's sick.
Yeah, that's sick. They had to all have some type of animosity.
It listed her cause of death as a spinal cord and neck injury. Robinson's father told us many different things that are heartbreaking, but among those is that he wants to see justice, not just in terms of the person who directly attacked her daughter, but all of the friends who were there and looked by and filmed this attack as it was happening. Let's take a look at the piece and I'll tell you a little bit more about it.
She was just a very, outgoing person. I mean, she loved people, just loved the friends that she was around.
Shanquella Robinson's father says his daughter's friends are to blame for the 25-year-old's death at a resort in Mexico in late October. Days after her death, a video too disturbing to show went viral, showing a woman beating Robinson, who was naked and not fighting back, while other friends watched and filmed nearby.
My daughter, she suffered, man. The last breath she took, she suffered. And they sit there and watch.
A local police report shows friends called for medical help just after 2 p.m., saying Robinson had, quote, drunk a lot of alcohol. When the doctor arrived and suggested she be taken to a hospital, she told police Robinson's friends refused and insisted on keeping her at the resort. Mr. Robinson says her friends called Shanquella's mother that night to say she was being treated for alcohol poisoning. An autopsy report released days later states Robinson died of a severe spinal cord injury and neck trauma at around 3 p.m. After her death, all 6 friends returned to the United States. Mexican authorities are now seeking the extradition of a single female suspect. John Jay College law professor Dmitry Shaknovich says the process now lies in the hands of the U.S. justice system.
They will engage in their...
I know the U.S. justice system sucks. I don't know how the Mexico system is. But hopefully they get justice on her death, because, man.
Now lies in the hands of the U.S. justice system.
They will engage in their own due process to see if this person that is alleged to have committed a crime should be extradited.
What do you want to see happen?
I want the truth, man. I just want them to get back over there and tell the Mexican authorities why they did what they did. I can't even be a grandfather. I can't even walk down the aisle, man. The only thing I can do is cherish the moments that we had, the 25 years while she was here on this earth.
Robinson's death is now being investigated by Mexican authorities as a femicide, or the killing of a woman because of her gender. The FBI said that they have opened an investigation into her death, and at this point, it's still unclear whether those who witnessed the fight may also be in any form of legal jeopardy.
And there are so many strange components to this story. Can you expand the discrepancies between the initial police report and what was contained in the autopsy? Because there isn't a consistent narrative here.
Yeah, that's, there's a number of discrepancies. Of course, first, her friend saying that this was alcohol poisoning, calling her mom as she was in some form of distress, as she was getting medical attention, and telling her this is alcohol poisoning. When they go back to Mexico, from Mexico to the States, they maintain that story. But then days later, when the parents receive the autopsy, they say, wait a minute, there's something wrong.
Something is wrong, first of all, because how did the video even get out there?
Yeah,
Why would you, what? Why would you, what? Put the video out.
It don't make sense.
I mean, I'm glad the video got out, first of all, but for one, why would you put the video out? Whoa, you know what? They said the video was live.
Okay, so somebody must have screen recorded it or something.
They said it was live.
Cause that's crazy.
Story, but then they
too. Me too. Like, y'all just beat this girl to death. Yep, you're going to jail.
Right.
You're going to jail.
To make Mexico, from Mexico to the States, they maintain that story. But then days later, when the parents receive the autopsy, they say, wait a minute, there's something wrong. One thing that Mr. Robinson told me, too, that was really shocking, he says, when I went to the funeral home, and he was very grateful for the person in Mexico who helped bring his daughter home, who helped arrange for all that to happen. When he saw the state in which his daughter's body was, he knew that something else had happened. He knew something was wrong, and it could not be alcohol poisoning. He said she had a broken or busted lip, that she had other contusions. And so finally, when these videos start coming out, everything changes. But the main discrepancy between the police report and the autopsy is the autopsy says she died at 3:15, 15 minutes after the attack or the injury.
Wow.
But the police report, that's the autopsy, the police report tells a whole timeline of a doctor who showed up at the hospital, who saw her, who started treating her, suggested that Shanquella be taken to the hospital. The friends apparently told this doctor, no, let's keep her here. And then hours go by, this doctor keeps...
That's the boom right there. Why didn't the doctor just take the girl to the hospital?
My thing is, why would you keep a deceased body in the room?
Right. Couldn't have been breathing with the doctor there. Oh, was she?
If the doctor didn't detect she was dead,
right,
and left her there, the doctor needs to go to jail.
That's crazy.
But who knows how Mexico works? That just sounds crazy.
No, let's keep her here. And then hours go by. This doctor keeps working on her, giving her CPR multiple times. At some point, she starts convulsing. Later on, the doctor could no longer detect a pulse. And by 6 p.m., about 3 hours later, after the doctor arrived, is when she's declared dead. So those 3 hours are a huge question mark for the family and for everyone looking into this story.
So, Lilia, we keep saying friends, but clearly not friends. I mean, what do we know about these individuals who traveled with her?
Well, Mr. Robinson was telling me that they were college friends of hers, that they all showed up, or many of them showed up to the family's house. One in particular went to her mom's house and, maintained the story of alcohol poisoning and was there for the family, that they brought her luggage and cell phone back to the family, like nothing, like there was no foul play or anything. And the moment the videos...
That's sick. They all need to go to hell. Not go back.
Yeah, this story is first of all, it's not making sense. And for one, that's why they all need to be locked up.
Yeah.
Because y'all lied about this girl's death, but y'all really knew her death and y'all recorded it. I don't see what the U.S. waiting on. That's why I said the justice system suck.
And was there for the family, that they brought her luggage and cell phone back to the family, like nothing, like there was no foul play or anything. And the moment the videos started popping up, started leaking, which may have leaked from some of those friends because they were the ones filming, it seems like, from what you see in the video.
I just don't understand,
Then they disappeared.
They probably got in an argument. You say, you know what, I'm finna leak this video. It gotta be that, because ain't no way that video just started floating.
Was filming, it seems like, from what you see in the video.
I just don't understand,
Then they disappeared.
Right. Why you would film it and not try to stop it. And B, have they identified that individual who we see in the video hitting her?
It sounds like that person is identifiable to the family, or at least to the group of friends, that it wasn't a stranger, that it was one of the friends. And, Mexican authorities now are seeking to extradite this person. As we know, of course, there are between 40 and 100 and something extraditions from Mexico to the U.S. Mexican officials in the past have said, look, it needs to go both ways, and the U.S. has to get better and speedier at extraditing people to Mexico. So now, that is in the hands of the U.S. legal system. There's multiple departments that participate in the process, but eventually, if a judge decides that there is enough evidence, she can be eventually, this woman, extradited to Mexico. Now, in that police report, or in the extradition report, Mexican authorities are saying we're still investigating to see if any other people were accessories or, participated in something like a cover-up.
Wow.
So it doesn't end with one person so far.
Wow. Lilia, always appreciate your reporting. Thank you very much.
Thank you both.
All right, for more on this case, let's bring in George Pirro. He's a former assistant director of the FBI's International Operations Division. George, you just heard the reporting there from our colleague Lilia. What kind of role can the FBI play in a case like this?
Good morning. As you know, the FBI has authority to investigate crimes committed against U.S. citizens abroad, as well as crimes committed by U.S. citizens. So in this case, the FBI would be supporting our Mexican authorities in determining the cause of death and the circumstances surrounding this particular, what appears to be a homicide. The FBI would provide everything from technical, evidentiary assistance that could help either.
They was hating on her game. There ain't no way.
Assistance that could help either the FBI and the U.S. Attorney's Office here prosecute or the Mexican authorities.
We should highlight the importance of what's known as Black Twitter as well. Shanquella Robinson's mother, in fact, says if it wasn't for folks online pushing for answers to these questions, it wouldn't have received the national attention it's getting now. George?
I'm saying, thank God for the internet, man, in some sort, because, man.
It wouldn't have received the national attention it's getting now. George, from your point of view, now that things are really heating up, do you really consider this, because there's so much attention and we have extradition now being thrown around, that things are only just really getting started? And explain to us how the extradition process will work since you've got the U.S. and Mexico involved here on both sides.
See, yeah. I'm glad that Mexico is really involved now because it happened on their sword.
Yeah, it gotta be.
But I feel like Mexico be brushing stuff off, but they really going in deep. They working with the U.S. with it. I like it.
Yeah. But that's good because that's something they gotta bring to light.
Mm-hmm.
As you can imagine, extraditing a U.S. citizen to a foreign country is a very complex and difficult process. And it's designed to be difficult to protect U.S. citizens. So the first step is the Mexican authorities have to reach the United States through diplomatic channels, provide sufficient documentation supporting the extradition. There are levels of review both at the State Department and then at the Department of Justice Office of International Affairs. If there is sufficient documentation or evidence to support the extradition, then it's forwarded to the U.S. Attorney's Office in the jurisdiction that has, where in this case it would be in North Carolina, and a judge will review and make a determination. There are appeals, so I can tell you extraditions can be a long process. It's a long process.
So, George, you mentioned that the FBI does investigate crimes like this one. So if the Mexican authorities do not succeed in getting the suspect or suspects extradited back to Mexico to face charges here, so does that mean that they just go free? There's nothing that can be done here in the United States?
No, absolutely not. So there is a federal violation where an American citizen who commits murder overseas, and in this particular case, it's a murder of another American, can be charged in the United States. And the FBI has historically investigated those types of crimes and brought individuals to justice. So in this particular case, there would be significant cooperation and discussion between the Mexican authorities or FBI office in Mexico City, and then of course in Charlotte, and the individuals responsible for the death could face federal charges in a U.S. court.
So he's saying that they have to be charged in the U.S. So if they can't find this girl, that's what the man is asking. Mm-hmm. If they can't find this girl, they're going to be free.
Yeah. Well, they done.
That's basically what he said they're gonna be charging the U.S. when they get the suspect. So they gotta hurry to get the suspect.
Yeah.
Or charge the friends while they got him.
They need to go to They need to go to jail
and hold them all hostage and tell them y'all better give me this suspect up or y'all all
right. Because somebody got to know where she is.
Somebody got to know. Somebody got that
family. They need
the
to
family.
Go. They got
the family had to tell her to run away.
Right. And that's terrible for the family to even say, because
I feel like they don't want to apply the pressure how we say and apply the pressure, because it's like they kind of, the ones who didn't do it is kind of innocent, but at the same time they not innocent. Just because you didn't commit it, you was a part of that act, you know.
So we sat there and watched her.
Yeah, I feel like they all six.
They all need to get the death penalty. They need to go to
not the death penalty.
They need some. When they go to Mexico, that's gonna be the death penalty.
If they go to Mexico,
they deserve that for real.
They
just imagine how she felt getting beat up,
and
looking at all
her friends. They just looking at her get beat up, recording. It's the recording for me. The one who recorded and the one that beat her up need to be put away.
And then there was a video, and they was all talking in a room without her. Did you see that? And she was looking for them through the whole house. And they was all in the room talking.
They said at that point, that's when they was planning.
Oh my God.
I saw that. Yeah. This story, man, justice for Quella, for real.
Yeah, this story needs to be worldwide, nationwide.
And I feel like Mexico really trying to help out the U.S. too, because a lot of us go to Mexico or Cabo for a little, you know. So they not trying to make bad ties with U.S.
And then whoever the doctor was, they had to get paid off for them, like, because what? That's not a correct doctor. She should have went to the hospital. They had to pay that doctor.
You hear me? Because how they said 3 hours later she was declared dead. 3
you
hours?
Doing CPR on her?
For you to know somebody is dead with no pulse, you waited 3 hours.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, this lets y'all know about the people we have in this world. Man. Stay safe. Let us know what you guys want us to react to next.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
And we're going to see you on the next video.